Have you been wondering what the most powerful weapons are in Tears of the Kingdom and the secrets to obtaining them? Well, hold tight and grab onto your Pro controllers because we're going to cover everything you need to know to go from this to this. Since these are some of the most powerful weapons you can create and use in the game, there's of course going to be some intense battles along the way. But it's going to be totally worth it if you want to obtain Did we also mention that you can use these weapons without fear of losing them and having them break? Well, with a couple tricks that we'll cover in this video, as well as how you get these weapons, we're going to show you how to keep them with high durability as well, so you will never run out of powerful weapons in your playthrough. Also, we're going to help you get geared up for the hardest battles in the game, so you don't feel like you're struggling. And there's an extra reward from doing all of this that will be the Majora's Mask headpiece that will make farming Zonite ore so much easier for you since enemies won't attack you. So ready your nerves of steel and let's get started because it's about to get interesting. Our quest to obtain the most powerful weapons will, as mentioned before, involve some intense battling amongst some of the strongest enemies. So we'll go over how you can preemptively make some extremely strong weapons to start with and some food that will buff our defenses and health. Firstly, let's start by making some powerful weapons so we can take down the strongest lynels. My personal favorite and what we are recommending here is to start with the Gerudo weapons such as the scimitar and claymore. These are extremely powerful base weapons because they have a special perk on them that greatly enhances the fused material's power when you combine them with something. You'll see what we mean in a minute. These Gerudo weapons come from the Gerudo region. There should be some in the Gerudo town on weapon racks or just around the place, and if it's your first time there or during the regional quest, you will get several of these. However, you can also get them from enemies in the desert nearby. It's not guaranteed, but it is another way. You will also want a very good armor set with high defense on it. Luckily, we have a video on the channel showing you how to get the awesome Phantom armor set that is extremely strong and powerful and will be perfect for this to get these overpowered weapons. So check that out if you need an armor set. Next up, we will need a powerful monster part to fuse onto our Gerudo weapons. The Molduggers, as mentioned before, are perfect for this as their jaw piece has a whopping 32 base attack power. You can fuse this onto your Gerudo weapon and watch the attack power of it double. This is a fantastic weapon to start off our journey with. A tip to fight them easily is to shoot them with time bombs either on them or nearby them. It will sometimes eat the bomb and get knocked over, or it will blow up and just knock it over. When it is knocked down, rush over to its head and do a charge spin attack to quickly kill it. And if we're helping you out with this video, hit that like button down below. It's for the YouTube algorithm. We wouldn't ask if we didn't need to, but thank you so much for supporting us. Another extremely powerful monster part that we can obtain will be from a blue main lynel. This is one of the more formidable foes in Tears of the Kingdom. You will also want to get some practice against the lynels anyway, so this is actually a perfect place to learn and practice, as the blue-haired lynel is going to be a bit of a tough fight, but it's also going to be a great way to get a powerful bow and another strong monster part that we will need. So we're going to get practice in and get kitted out by defeating this. Here's the location of one you can find out in the open world. It's nearby the Mount Lynel Skyview Tower, and I believe it will respawn on blood moons. So travel here and get your practice in so you can reliably defeat lynels and claim its parts to fuse into another powerful starting weapon. If you're struggling, here's some tips and battle strategies on how you can take these out easily. The lynels are very weak to headshots, so aiming right for the center of their face, not too high or too low, will get you a critical hit and will knock it over. When this happens, you can run up to it and press A to jump on its back and do a mount attack by spamming Y. This will deal a good chunk of damage to it, and while doing this, it shouldn't lower your weapon's durability, which is awesome. So practice to get perfect headshots so you can beat it without damaging your weapon. You can easily get headshots by locking onto it with LZ, which will help auto-aim the center of your screen. You can also use Key's eyeballs to fuse into your arrows, and they will home to its head for an easy critical hit, as long as there is a bit of distance between you and the enemy. You can farm a ton of these eyeballs really easily by finding flying swarms of them and shooting them with bomb flowers. I found a swarm of them at the Puffer Beach Overlook Cave to the south of the map, so you might get lucky there too. Definitely go and grab a bunch. And if you're enjoying our guide, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below because we have plenty more guides on the channel that you don't want to miss out on. On top of this, make sure to pay attention to the lynels' attack patterns. They're very easy to read once you take the time to learn them. You will sometimes see them breathing fire. This means you need to run. so lock onto them and run to one side. They will usually shoot 3 times in a row, so keep running until they stop. Another move they will do is when they charge at you, and you can parry this with your shield to get a flurry in. The flurries are good but not recommended, as this will lower your weapon's durability when you attack this way. They have a lot of health, so it may break your weapons, so it's always good instead to focus on getting headshots with the bow and then doing the mount attacks. But the flurries are a good way to finish them off if they are low. After you beat this Lynel though, you will get your stronger monster part to fuse to your Gerudo weapon, as well as a Lynel bow, which will make getting those headshots even easier next time. You just beat a Lynel on hard mode, so now that you have this weapon and bow, you're almost ready to get your power level over 9,000.
It's over 9,000!
But next you're going to want some extra prep by making some food, which will dramatically make your life easier for the battle ahead. This is because we will be fighting them in the depths, which will mean getting hit will lower our maximum hearts to the gloom. So make sure to make some food with Sunderlions. I use 2 of them with 2 raw meat to make a pretty good meal that restores 6 Grey Gloom hearts. Sunderlions can be found all over the Sky Islands. Having a meal that will buff your attack or defense is also great but not needed, so if you have it, make it, if not, don't worry. And next is another optional food that will just make your life easier. Any meal that will give you more maximum temporary hearts will help you greatly. So using hearty radishes or hearty truffles to make a meal will be super helpful. We have a guide on the channel going over how you can farm hearty radishes, so make sure to check that out if you've missed out. Next up, and our final piece of preparation, will be to make a good rock breaking weapon. Anything with some good durability and power will do. I suggest using a claymore of some kind, and then fusing it with this spiked ball that you can find near this Skyview tower on the screen. This will make a strong and effective rock breaker, and we will need this later on, so do not skip out and hit that like button if we're helping you. So now you have your weapons, your armor, and your food, it's time to go to the Floating Coliseum down in the depths. Clear some space out in your weapon and bow inventory, as you will be picking up some bows and weapons throughout the battles, so making space now will make your life easier later. To get to the Floating Coliseum in the depths, you can simply run here from this light route on the screen now, or you can go from the nearby Great Abandoned Central Mine. There's a small bit of water to cross. I just used a glider to fly to the top. Make sure to save before going inside or entering, as it's about to get crazy. This challenge will involve you killing 5 Lynels back to back of increasing power, but with all of your gear and knowledge from this video up till this point, you're going to be able to handle this no problem with some practice. Shoot some bright bloom seeds inside to light the area up so you can see easier. Eat some of your food for defense, maximum hearts, whatever you have, and then go inside near the chest. This will make the challenge start and a door will open up, sending out a red Lynel to attack you. This is the easiest one first. Remember to shoot with those Keys Eyeball infused arrows, and with your Lynel bow it's going to be even easier since 3 will fire at the same time. Make sure you're using your strongest weapon when you jump on the Lynel's back to deal a lot of damage. After you defeat the first and easiest Lynel, pick up all of the loot on the floor and quickly save your game. This is because if you die now, you will have a checkpoint, and any loot you pick up will be saved. If it's left on the floor, it will disappear and you'll lose it. After the first Lynel's defeated, another one will then be released, and this time it's a blue-haired one, so it's a bit harder. Repeat as before, go for headshots, block where needed, and run around to avoid the fireballs. The battle shouldn't take too long because you have such powerful weapons for this stage of the battle. Remember to eat your gloomed heart recovery food if you do get hit, and keep healthy. After it is defeated though, take the loot from the floor again and then save your game. You've made it to another checkpoint, but now a grey-haired Lynel will be released, and it's the same thing again. Make sure to keep on top of your health, use buff food as needed, and go for those headshots to knock it down. Again, the Keys Eyeballs are so good for this. I ended up using a lot of them and it made it so much easier. You will really feel like a true badass after you defeat all of these, so keep going and be patient as you take it down and jump on its back to attack. After you finally beat it, pick up all of its loot, save your game again, and get ready. Now a silver Lynel will be released, and this is what we want. So repeat all of your learnings up to this point to try and take this guy out. He has the monster part that we're looking for. It's super powerful, so make sure to give it your all and try to beat him. And hit that like button if you've enjoyed this video and it's helping you out. After you have finally taken him down, quickly grab the loot on the floor as before and save your game once again. Now you will have the silver Lynel Saber Horn, which is one of the most powerful drops. But it's not over just yet. One more battle remains, and this time it's another silver Lynel, but he's got armor now. Well, this is why we got that powerful rock-breaking weapon earlier on. You're going to need to use this to break his armor. This is the hardest and final fight, so it might take a couple of tries. You can either kite him around and try and get some hits on him in between his attacks, or try to parry him and get a flurry with your rock-breaking weapon. It will take a couple of goes, but eventually you will break his armor. And after it is broken, you can now go back to getting headshots and mount attacks to bring him down. Keep focus and slay this beast so you can claim more powerful monster parts and the grand final reward in the chest in the middle. Once beaten, grab all of the parts and open the chest to get the Majora's Mask, which is actually a really great item as it makes monsters not spot you as quickly, so you can sneak around them in the camps in the depths and farm Zonite ore super fast. If you want to make the fight incredibly easy for yourself, there's a really awesome cheese that you can use to bypass a lot of the difficulty. We have another video already on the channel going over how you can create the Hammer of Dawn, a satellite beam weapon that will make this an absolute breeze. But now you have these extremely powerful monster parts, it's time to make the strongest weapons in the game. First, you're going to need to fly over to Hyrule Castle from Lookout Landing Sky Tower. Glide and dive your way over into the middle of the castle and go up inside. From here, go where I go and pick up this Royal Guard's Claymore inside, and this will be the base of our incredibly powerful weapon. It has a high base attack and a perk on it that will double its own and the fused material's power once it's about to break. So now we have the weapon, it's time to juice it to the maximum. So we're going to travel to Goron City and find an Octorok nearby. I've marked a few here on the map for you, which will make your life even easier. When you find one, drop the Claymore on the floor nearby and let them suck it in. They will fully repair it and give it a perk when they shoot it back at you. Do note that you can only do this once per Octorok, so make sure to save and then keep loading until you get the perk that you want, such as the attack plus 10 that I have. Apparently it's easier if you get a white coloured perk first and then find another Octorok to use it again to upgrade the perk to something like attack up 10. After you do use them though, make sure to kill them after enhancing your weapon, since you want them to respawn on the next Blood Moon so that you can use them again, because doing this actually repairs our weapons. So mark these on your map and we will use these to keep our weapons from ever breaking again. Now that you have a powerful juiced up and enhanced Claymore, fuse your silver Lynel Saber Horn onto the Royal Guard's Claymore and kill some enemies or damage things until it becomes badly damaged. This will then massively increase its damage to nearly 200 attack power. You might be wondering why this is good if it's nearly broken. Well, it's because this will now become your new Lynel killing weapon. Remember, those mount attacks don't take up durability. That means you can use this nearly broken, extremely powerful weapon to kill them super quickly. So save this more powerful version for only killing Lynels. But remember, we actually got some extra horns and other powerful Lynel parts, so now we can go to Tarry Town and pay 20 rupees to this NPC to have the parts removed from our previously used Gerudo weapons. Doing this will give us the parts back and the weapons back, so now we can use those weapons to fuse even stronger parts onto. So So fuse up the extra strong things that you got from doing this to create some extremely powerful weapons that you can use at any time. Remember to keep the badly damaged one for farming more lynels since it won't break on those mount attacks, and with the other weapons we can keep repairing them at the Octoroks so they never run out. And now you are essentially fully juiced up with some of the most powerful weapons in the game. If we did help you out here, please hit that like button down below and subscribe so you don't miss out. Share this to a friend so you can hook them up with the most powerful weapons, and the two videos on screen now we think you'll really enjoy if you did enjoy this one. You don't have to watch them if you don't want to, but if you did like this video, you're going to like these ones too. And then tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.